Hello, everyone. Welcome to Metalheads Media. This is Dan Gay. Today on this episode, we have none other than Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys, but started at Witch Tower and then Broken Teeth and just you have so many other projects beyond belief. I don't know how you can keep track.
Yeah, first it was
Watch Tower, not Witch Tower. I always want to think Witch Tower.
That's okay. Some people say Witch Power. It's going to be my black metal band one day, Witch Power. I thought that was really genius. But
yes.
No, Watch Tower.
Watch Tower, my apologies.
It's all good.
So, well, excellent. But we'll get more into what you're up to here. But first, I want to get into what we're calling here is Fast Flyin Q A. I'm going to ask you some rapid questions. You just give me the answer off the top of your head.
Oh, shit.
All right. So, from Texas, Cowboys or Texans?
No sports.
No sports. All right.
I guess I should say pass.
All right. No worries. Would you prefer mountains or the beach?
Mountains.
Prefer
born on a beach. I prefer mountains.
Prefer mountains. Perfect. Talking pets or talking babies?
Pass.
Pass. All right. Would you rather?
Gross, man.
I know.
I like horror movies.
Yeah.
So
right. Either one.
Horror movie. Yeah.
Well, it could be. I'm going to get to that later too about something. Would you rather have loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Nosy.
Nosy. And would you prefer to tour on a tour bus or do fly-in dates?
Flying dates.
All right. How about your favorite board game?
Pass.
All right. Favorite movie?
Wow, too many. Okay, Exorcist.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
How about favorite barbecue sauce?
Don't have. Yeah, pass.
All right. Favorite hobby?
Wow.
Besides all your singing and writing.
I don't. Well, God, if that's a hobby, I'm screwed. That's how I live.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. I like, I guess everything is kind of a hobby. Mowing the lawn. There you go.
Okay. Right. I enjoy that myself.
I don't take it too serious, but it's got to be done. So I try to make it fun.
Yeah.
Pretty weak answer, I think, but it's all right.
Hey, absolutely. We'll take it.
Yeah.
And then your favorite accessory? Something you always got to carry on you.
Oh, shit. I'm addicted to my phone.
Okay. All right. Now let's go with your childhood crush. Celebrity childhood crush.
Gene Simmons.
Wow. All right. Childhood nickname.
I didn't have one, but let's go with Red Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were invisible, where would you want to go? I know. I got random questions. I know. Just poof. If you want to pass, that's good too.
Nah, pass.
All right.
Yeah.
What is the worst job you had?
Wow. I would do it if I had to. I would do it again if I had to, but it's probably got to be construction.
Okay. And then what is the best advice you've ever received from somebody?
Construction, by the way, is a very noble job. That's why I said what I said. I would do it again, but that's probably as hard as I've ever had to work is doing construction.
But the advice that they gave you, just work hard?
No one gave me any advice.
Okay.
I'm naturally motivated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the question after that? I'm sorry, I fucked you all up.
No, it was just what was the best advice somebody ever gave you?
Oh, shit. Whatever you love to do that all the time.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the end of those questions. Thanks so much for
Okay.
playing.
Sorry,
Appreciate.
I think I failed that,
Hey,
but
hey, no worries. I just appreciate you playing along.
all right, Dan.
All right. So, thanks so much for joining us. You just released a new demo album, I guess you want to call it, Demolition. Watched a couple YouTube channels. I saw that you've went into great detail on that. So, I think we're going to pass on kind of really talking about the history, but I want to know about your reaction to the fans' reaction to the album.
Well, you know, from what I've seen, just over my news feed and just what I've so far so good is what I've been hearing. Um, Friends that I that I have that I speak to fairly regularly. There are also fans that will tell me when I have shit on my shoes because they're my friends.
Good.
They would tell me there's some of them I trust and they would tell me the truth, but none of them have gone, that's crap, I don't like that. The ones who have given Demolition the worst reviews are in the band. Because
Interesting.
well, we didn't like the songs in the first time around.
True.
That's why they've been sitting around for 35 or years or longer.
Right.
Because they were demos that got rejected, whether it be by us, people in the band, whether we had divided, opinions about the material or whatever it was, or the label. And usually at the time you can kind of say it was the label because they're wanting us to get in the studio and make another record. And that goes with the history as reasons why these songs have been sitting around and getting dusty for so long is the same. There's facts involved as to reasons why these songs, in people's opinions, that had these songs laying around. And I'm just glad that we had them laying around.
Absolutely.
And that Cleopatra thought it was a good idea for us to put these things out. Now, my friends would call me and go, "Hey, I heard the new record, and shit, some of that could have been on Pissed, or
Absolutely.
some of that could have been on Hellacious, and some of that, So Demolition is kind of the missing link between Hellacious Acres and Pissed. The songs on Pissed were actually culled from those writing sessions, from those 2 years we were down writing.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pissed songs were taken out of that. So they're
Right.
not wrong.
No.
They're not wrong. I mean, there's probably 2 or 3 Demolition tunes that probably should have been on Pissed and or could have also been on Hellacious, in our opinion.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, those are both great albums. So, I mean, for me, I just don't think that those are filler songs. Like, I really think Hellacious Acres, every song is a great song on there. Same thing with Pissed, So, absolutely, it had to have been hard to choose which songs you wanted.
Or, yeah, we did what we had to do. Not to go as far, to really kind of, stir the soup about the history of Demolition, but I will say this, that when we were during the time we were writing all those songs, and as well as the songs that are on Pissed, that ended up on Pissed, we asked our label if hey, can we get the fuck out of here, because we're ready to go make a record and you're standing in the way of us going to make a record. So if your label doesn't your label is deciding whether you are ready or not to make a record, and you're chomping at the bit to make the record because you feel strong about the material that you have.
Yep.
That's when you call the label and go, "Hey, can we just fuck off because we want to go make a record?" And so they did. They said, "Yeah, you guys are cool," and it was it was an amicable split. And so we went and made Pissed. And that's what I mean. The songs from Demolition, the songs from Pissed, they're all from one session, which is a 2-year writing session. We had a shit ton of songs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad that that came out, and I just hope that more fans can know that it has been released and get to hear these songs. Now, if Dangerous Toys is to go on tour this year, would you be playing any of those songs live?
No,
No. Is there a
no.
reason why behind it, or
Yeah, they're still shit can songs to
okay,
us.
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're rejected for a reason.
Okay.
We it, it would be a pain in our ass to play those songs, even though we know the fans like those songs. They're not in our best interest to, if we're
Right.
not happy with the songs, we shouldn't be trying to fit them into a set that we think kicks ass.
Agreed.
So there's that.
Right.
And we like our songs just fine right now.
Yeah.
And we never even, this might be a bummer to hear too, but a an album of songs from 3 decades ago is not a new album to us, and it's new. I've rather enjoyed fans saying, "Hey, I got the new album," and it catches me for I have to go, "Oh, I know what they mean. Yeah, that's cool,"
Right.
because it's new to them.
Yep. Right. Like the release I got back there, the greatest tricks that you guys put out. I would call that a new release.
Yeah, that's a compilation album.
Yep. Right.
Yeah,
It's
with terrible artwork.
right. It's a great album, though. I definitely love listening to it.
Yeah,
So,
a good collection of the years of Dangerous Toys.
yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
So, what is the plan in 2026 for toys?
Oh, the same plan that's been the plan for probably the last 15. We don't tour anymore, so it really is about um, playing the fly-in dates. Playing markets that we play that we are really comfortable playing with our friends, and um, we're wide open to you know working with any talent buyer or booking agent that feels like there's a market that we would do well in. But when the phone's not ringing, you take the ones, and at our age you can say yes or you can say no, and it has to make sense, right? Because
Absolutely.
for us, getting in a van or a bus and here we go, here goes nothing, we lose our ass and we come home broke and tired.
Yep.
So we would rather just play the markets that want us, because the ones that want us deserve us.
Absolutely.
And I'm not, no judgment. It's just that we have to be comfortable. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of lame, but it's the truth.
No, it is,
It's the truth.
and
Yeah.
so many fans always question, like here in Minnesota, it's like, how come you never come up here? Well, I know the answer. Promoters aren't calling you. It's not that you don't want to play up here. It's just that
Yeah.
you're not getting the phone call.
Here's a scenario: if we called a booking agent and they booked us a bunch of shows, and they came back and, well, I got you this much money at this place and this much money at this place, and I got you this much money at this place. We can't play for little money and then one big money and then little money, and that, because the guy that's paying the big money, he's going to get pissed off that we're playing the same show for less. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like, just because you play a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday doesn't mean you should play for less.
Absolutely.
Get paid more by the guy that's got you on a Friday and a Saturday. So it turns into politics like that. So we just don't mess with that. And like I said, we make more money as humans to pay our mortgage and feed our babies and whatever by staying home and just answering the phone once in a while and doing the cruise and the mountain and festival type gigs. And we've got some things planned already for this year that it's going to be a great year. But I could probably count the shows we're going to do probably less than this. I can count them on the hands I have. I don't need a third hand. So that's just the reality of it. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of it has to do with age, and we didn't, contrary to belief, we didn't sell the as many records as even Warrant did. So, let's put it in perspective. If there's an A level band, a B level band, and a C level band, we might be a C minus.
Yeah, I mean, but
it's not a grading system. It's
no.
It's availability for survival, because the ship of being a 20-year-old on a bus or in a van and playing for beer and shit money, that's 30, 40 years ago.
Exactly. That was in the 80s.
It's done.
Yep.
So
exactly.
No one wants to hear that. They just want us to rock and roll all night, party every day, and that's not reality.
Yep. I mean, like where I saw you guys here at Rocktember, representing Rocktember, great lineup. I mean, you guys fit the bill well, and so I enjoy those kind of festivals. And
yeah, me too. As long as I don't have to go on at noon.
That's a little too early. I absolutely.
Yeah.
Now 10 shows with Dangerous Toys, but you have all these other projects as well. Do you have any other shows lined up with them, or any other albums coming out?
It's sparse. Well, I had a record come out around the same time that it might have even been the same day or a week away from each other. A project called Night Terror on Deco Entertainment with Jack Frost from Sabotage. So that's out. That came out right around the same time Demolition did. And I worked on that record for about a year. And it's great. And it's everywhere now. You can get it anywhere. And let's see, what I've been writing with the Dirty Looks guys, which is still kind of the Dangerous Toys guys, because it's Paul and Jack, bass player, Dirty Looks. I fronted Dirty Looks for about 5 years, and we made that live record a couple years ago, and it did well, and we started writing new material, and we're calling that project, we're calling it Hot Shot. And so we're about 7 or 8 songs into that, and that's going to come out hopefully by the end of this year. And man, it's going great.
Good.
And yeah, and that's Jack and Paul from Dirty Looks, me on vocals, David from Broken Teeth on second guitar, and Dave McLean from Machine Head.
Wow.
S.A. Slayer on drums.
Amazing.
Yeah,
but
it's a really, really fun style of music, and it's just, when I say style of music, it's in the vein of like Dirty Looks and Kicks. It's like that northeastern stomp rock,
right?
Heavy rock.
I checked it out. Yeah, you guys got 2 songs on Spotify. So
yeah,
I mean, if people are loving what you're explaining, definitely have to check that out, and anticipating that release this year for sure.
Yeah.
So
and I write with other people all the time. Broken Teeth has enough material to probably make a record now, but we kind of want to write a couple more songs before we go in the studio, just to make sure we've got, plenty of stuff,
Okay.
And but I was working on some stuff right before I got on here. I'm writing a record with an old friend of mine, and it's kind of power metal. It's very heavy, but it's melodic too.
Okay.
Kind of like the Night Terror stuff.
So it's a little hush project at the moment.
No, it's just
okay.
It's just a friend of mine, and I don't, it's his band, and
got it.
I know he has a name for the project, but it's kind of his thing, and we're only 4 songs into it or whatever, So it's early, and then let's see, it was early last year, a year ago, maybe a year ago and change. I released a record by Ignitor. I've been in Ignitor since like 2007.
That's right.
So we have a lot of records out. And the latest record is called Horns and Hammers. and you can see 2 or 3 videos we made for the record, Horns and Hammers, on YouTube, and you can go to ignitorband.com. But yeah, Ignitor.
That's like your Judas Priest cover band or something, right? Or portray?
Not a cover.
Not like a cover, but like a
cover.
tribute, like to
No.
Judas. No, okay.
No.
I guess somebody misinformed me on something you might have had.
It's an all original, like, thrash power metal band that's been around since like 2004, I
Okay.
think. And a friend of mine used to be their singer, Erica, and I replaced her in 2007, and we have like about 8 records out with
Okay.
me, and then there's 2 records with Erica. So there's a lot of history. No covers. I mean, once in a while we do a cover. You
Okay.
know, we did Virgin Killer by the Scorpions, and on Horns and Hammers, actually, we did a Saxon cover. We did Machine Gun.
Okay.
Um,
I'll have to get my homework on that one.
It's not a cover band. I do sing in a Judas Priest tribute band, but it's not Ignitor. It's called Sad Wings.
Sad Wings. Okay.
Sad Wings. Yeah.
Got it.
And we've got some shows coming up this summer, I think. And yeah, man, it's crazy. You know, the phone rings, you know, once in a while, and I either say yes or I say no.
That's all right.
It's good, and I'm busy. I'm what I call busy enough. Trust me.
That's good. Hey.
Yeah.
That's great for you. I'm glad you're keeping yourself busy and doing what you love.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing is, you know, I spend my time in this chair out here a lot, like singing and writing, and it's great. I'm pretty happy in my 60s just creating music.
Yeah.
I started writing with a couple of collaborations. I don't know if I want to. It's not really a solo record,
Okay.
you know, but it's not what people know me from, you know. If they know me from Watchtower, it's the opposite of that. It's even different than. It's not hard rock.
Best of Friends type of vocalist or vocal
Well,
style?
that's a ballad.
Right.
It's more like late 70s AM gold, like Billy Joel, ELO, Elton John, Queen,
Mm-hmm.
Bowie, if I didn't say him already. He's worth saying twice. It's that kind of sort of easy listening pop yacht rock kind of stuff. But you would still hear it like if you were at the skating rink in 1978. Like they would play School's Out.
Right.
And then they'd play Ballroom Blitz. And then they'd play Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. And then they'd play the Bee Gees. And then they'd play Elton John, Benny and the Jets. And then they'd play, you know, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's in the realm of that, but it's very, I wouldn't say it's Doobie Brothers, but it's that vibe of kind of song crafting.
Right.
And I'm a giant Elton John freak fan, and I actually front an Elton John tribute band. I play guitar and sing. And some of the collaborations for this record I'm talking about, I wrote with the bass player from my Elton tribute, and we go by 2 names. Sometimes Captain Fantastic, sometimes E.J. Army, Elton John Army. Right?
Okay. Yep.
And it's fun, and it's a 6-piece band. Two, you know, I got a piano player and a synth player. I play rhythm guitar. I've got a lead guitar player, bass player, and drums. So, and we cover only 70s Elton John. So that material just inspires me to want to write that kind of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we all change in different styles as we grow, and I get it.
Yeah, nothing's changed for me. I've been into
That's that. Well, yeah.
I have an Elton John tattoo that covers my entire body. So
that's awesome.
I've been into Elton since I was a child. So, but getting a chance to find the right people to collaborate with on material like that is I think what you meant.
Right. Well, I mean, and your vocal style. I mean, a lot of times you have that screechy, screaming, but then you have
I mean,
that.
I'm a metal singer.
Yep.
Everybody knows me as a metal singer. I was in a metal thrash band,
Right. Before,
for
yeah.
10 years before I joined the Toys, and honestly, it was just a little less intense when I joined the Toys, but it was still real high and
Yep.
crazy, and
Right.
So, but to croon a little bit and write super melodic stuff and kind of calm down and sit down by the creek,
Right.
instead of live on the ceiling with dynamite in both
Yeah.
hands, is I like the valley just as much as I like the ceiling.
Yep. Variety is always good.
Yeah.
So when was the highlight of your career, would you say? At what point? Was it the first album, second album?
Well, wow. The question is hard for me to answer, and that's not your fault, right?
Yep.
You didn't do anything wrong. But a highlight sounds to me like a way someone would measure where they've been.
Okay.
Like, and how excited they were when they got there and what they took from it when they walked away. So there's many, many highlights. So the one highlight I don't think really exists for me, because there's many, many highlights.
Okay. Just give me one of them or a couple.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can write a song and then someone you don't know comes up to you and says, man, that song changed my life. Or, man, that song, I love that song. That's the kind of highlight I'm talking about. When there's an audience in front of you that at a place you've never played before and you don't know anybody there, and the place is packed and they're singing songs that you wrote, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic high. That's a natural drug, right?
Yep.
Like moving the room, I mean, feels like you're moving the planet, and you feel like everyone in that room has, all of a sudden they've got a hive mind. Like everybody has the same
Yes.
emotional value
Yep.
in that moment. And if you can keep that going for a couple hours, they're buzzing the rest of the week. And not just me, you too.
Yep. Of course.
You know that because you're a music fan.
Yeah.
So you know how that works. And it's not any different for me than it is for you. I guess the takeaway pertaining to your question is, as a highlight, would be like, wow, I don't sit around and think about this shit, but your question's making, microscopically making it bubble up as a highlight. The fact that we're there together, but when you pinpoint it, what is the germ that caused that in the songs that we wrote?
Right.
The songs that me and my guys wrote together in a sweaty room in South Texas. Is pretty great that we were able. It's kind of unbelievable, really. It's like I'm not worthy kind of moment. It's kind of like a thing, But I struggle with that anyway. I mention it a lot. I hate to misuse it, but imposter syndrome. Like, I'm just a dude, I'm just a...
Right. Yeah.
So those are highlights. It's not the gold sales awards. It's not the trophies. It's not the, having hardcore fans that have your logo tattooed on their bodies. It's not any of that stuff, because that stuff can be really fleeting. I think that it's more about the dedication that fans, as well as the songwriters and performers out there that want the songs to be good and that want to enjoy themselves in a room with people who care about it, from the people on the floor to the people on the stage, man. I feel like when we can all become one, that's important. That's a highlight, as well as the realization that, some guys in a basement came up with some noise that people liked, and it moved them personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a highlight.
Awesome. So I was actually going to ask you this question too. What is one song then that just hits you when you're on stage? Like when the fans are singing it back and you're just like, damn. Is there just that one song that you play every time?
That gets me excited?
Yep, that you just are, just almost gets you too emotional. Like you just are going to cry or forget the lyrics, just.
Oh, I wish that would happen. I wish I would get that emotional about it, but
yeah.
As far as the toys go, yeah, I mean, it's a high the whole time. I mean, because, that's, it's not arguable. It's the truth that's probably, I mean, Watchtower is a global phenomenon because of just what it is. It was
Mm-hmm.
a pioneering kind of a band. So
yes, it was.
we have a global cult.
Yes.
I mean, it could be millions. But anyway, the point is, if I have to pick a song in the Dangerous Toys set, I like to sing all of them. But if I had to pick one, probably Scared. But I really like Bones in the Gutter.
Mm-hmm.
I really like singing that one, if I had to pick one.
Okay.
Or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a hard question.
Yeah, but it's like I write a lot of songs. I've got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of bands and a lot of material, so it's not just the toys that I have that emotional
Right.
connection with. And you said, is there a song that kind of makes you cry?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, sometimes just listening to other people's music in my car makes me cry, bro.
Yeah.
It could be Willie Nelson or Elton John or Queen or something like that. Dude, music is so powerful.
It is. Yeah, I get the goosebumps, and my eyes start tearing up to certain songs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's real. And people listening, I don't care what you think. If you don't have that emotional connection with music in any form or fashion, you might be dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll just say from my own experience, like your song, Sticks and Stones. I mean, come on, man. I was like rallying, for that music, because that song is the rally cry, and I just.
Yeah, that's anthemic. That's an anthem.
Yeah. And then Best of Friends, like I said, I mean, that just brings me back now to this day. I just think of my friends, back from high school and, what would have happened. And, I mean, yeah, I just, those songs are emotional and touching for sure.
It's an automatic, Best of Friends is an automatic connection, because if you've lost anyone, if you've lost some friends that you've known your whole life, that's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Watson wrote that song, and there is some truth. It's about 75% truth, about him losing touch with a friend, and then he had to read about him being gone in the paper,
Yeah.
And all of us are at an age now where that's happening, and it's going to happen more. So get ready.
Right. I know.
Let music soothe your bummer,
It is. You have to. Yeah. I mean, I'm still listening to Ozzy and just can't believe it,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, you don't know a life without him.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're very true. I never thought it that way.
Yeah.
So with Dangerous Toys and the image of the clown, how did you guys come up with that, or who came up with that?
Well, it was a conversation with manager who was just overnight my manager. Boom, you're signed. Boom, you got a record deal. Boom, you're about to make a record. But what is the Dangerous Toy? What's your logo? What's going to be on the album cover? And machine gun, all these questions, right? And you have to, let me point this out, that let me remind you, I should say that we were only a band for about 7 or 8 months before we got a deal. And so it was happening really fast.
Yep.
In less than a year, we were making a record in Van Nuys, California with Max Norman. We had to come up with a band name, a logo, and an album cover, image, whatever, photo, a look, everything. We didn't know. We were new. We were just making it up as we went along.
Okay.
So that's fair. It happens sometimes. And, the band name is, if you love it or hate it, was our own doing. We came up with that on the spot during a phone call with a booking agent that was trying to book us back in to the club that the guys in Dangerous Toys, they had a different singer, and it was called Onyx. And they were kind of like the house band at the local watering hole, the rock club here in town. And, it had been a few weeks since they'd played, a month or 6, maybe long. I don't remember. It wasn't more than a couple months probably. So the booking agents call, and we're in the middle of rehearsal. Phone rings. We used to rehearse in Mark's kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
Living room kitchen. It was like an area, right? And
crazy.
Where the dining room table would be is where the drum kit was. So, and the kitchen's right there. So, and the phone's in the kitchen.
Right.
And the phone rings, and it's the booking agent going, "Man, when are you guys going to be ready to play?" It's like, "I got a slot." And you guys have your shit together? And we're like, yeah. You guys got a band name? No. Well, come on, let's call it something, and I'll book you guys, and I'll just get the word out that it's you guys with your new singer, because they were hot shit at the club.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter how, but we ended up with the name Dangerous Toys. And, okay, that'll work. And we hated the name. We can change it later. It doesn't matter. Well, obviously it stuck.
Yeah.
So here I am, months later, on the phone with my new manager. He's going, "All right, what are we going to do? What the fuck is a Dangerous Toy? What are we going to put on this fucking album cover? Your debut album, what are we going to do?" And I go, "Well, it's kind of a clown." You start thinking like a dangerous toy, a clown, a toy clown. Boom, Jack in the Box, right? So you start thinking, okay, Jack in the Box. Well, there's shitty hamburgers, Jack in the Box, I like their ice cream, okay, whatever, Jack in the Box, you got this crank, and the lid's closed, and boom, it explodes, and the scary clown comes out or whatever, and it's goofy, but what do? You shove it back down in there and close the lid so you can do it again, right?
Yeah. Why?
So that tied in later on with the song "Scared." Hey man, I think I like being scared. It's like over and over and over. Oh, do it again.
Right.
Oh, I like this. This is a cool.
Yeah.
It's brainless. It's mindless, but it's a shock. And that ties in later on with "Scared." "Scared" wasn't even written yet when we were coming up with this concept.
Crazy.
And so a clown is what we ended up with. And he goes, "All right, I'm on it. Maybe a scary clown or something. And he's in an attic or I don't know. Let's just come up with a clown." You go, I'll get some sketches done and I'll fax them to you. He faxes me these like cartoon balloon round looking dorky, really silly, like silly clown.
Circus clowns.
Well, yeah, and they were creepy, but they weren't creepy in the way that our clown is creepy.
Right.
They were creepy like Chester the Molester creepy. They weren't creepy like "I'm gonna drink your blood" creepy. They were like creepy in the wrong way.
Okay. Yeah. Not that way. Yeah.
No, and they were wearing these like the out of proportion little cowboy hats that they glue on, like like the happy birthday clown that you hire in the out of the back of the newspaper.
Yeah,
it was fucked up, bro. It was fucked up.
The red nose.
So I saw. Well, they were just black and white because they were faxed to me.
Oh,
pre-internet.
gotcha. Okay.
This would have been in 1988.
Oh yeah. Good point.
And I go down to I don't have a fucking fax machine, but there was a print shop close by, and I'd walk over there and grab them and go home and call them back. Well, that's what I did. I went and got them, and I'm like, the whole time, I ran back to the house. I'm like, these are so shitty. And I called him. I go, hey, man, no. How about hell no? And he's like, well, come on, man. These are the best artists. You know, these guys are the best in Los Angeles, man. These guys, what do you want it to look like? I go, I know a guy lives an hour from here named Tommy Pons that'll blow this away in 24 hours. I'm going to send you a sketch. I'm going to have him do something and throw it your way. He's like, man, I don't know, man. You know, he doesn't trust me, and I don't trust it. We just met. We're getting to know each other, right?
Yep.
And he was using his best resources that he can in a pinch. That's totally fair. I get that. No harm, no foul. But I did have to say something like, you know, I know we just met, but fuck no.
Yeah.
We're not using anything remotely this.
Just
let me give you an idea that I called Tommy Pons. I said, dude, got this record deal happening. I need something, man. I need logos. I need a scary clown. I know you can do it. He had done some flyers for me with Watchtower and other bands, like metal bands, you know, and I'm like, I know he can do it.
Right.
And so, sure enough, he faxes me the sketch of what would be, I wonder if I have it close by. The original Beelzebub, the original clown. It's, if you have Vitamins and Crash Helmets, the live album, do you have that?
I do. Yep.
You do?
I do, but it's packed up right now.
Do you have the CD of that?
Yes, the CD. Yep.
Do you know when you open it up and you pull the CD out?
Okay. Yep.
You know that clown that's in there with the purple and black target? That's the clown.
Okay.
That's the one that he faxed to our manager.
Nice.
And his eyes are rolled back. They're white, I think, or they might be colored green, but there's no pupil. It's really fucked up looking. His ears are kind of bent forward, like looks like Mad Magazine guy, Edward Newman or something. Alfred E. Newman, whatever his name is. And then he's got like alien teeth. They're like dripping with slobber.
Yep.
The clown is wrong looking, and it's perfect.
Yes.
That's what he sent. And manager guy calls me the next day. You were right. You were right. We got to go with this guy. I go, now we did meet in the middle. We ended up with the bill that's on the front of the cover, like that you have right back there. What is that? Is that a CD or is that a 7-inch single of Scared?
No, that's
the vinyl.
Yeah, that's the vinyl.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
And then Hellacious Acres I got as an import, which is really interesting. When side A has the picture of the Shocker on it.
Oh, it's a bootleg.
Yeah, the bootleg one. Yeah. So
for the record, boys and girls, we the band made zero money off of that.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
It's not. You don't. No apology needed, man. You're a fan. You want your rock and roll how you can get it, man.
I do.
I get it.
Yep.
But that's kind of how we came up. That's really the long version of how we came up with that clown. It was in a meeting, and I had an artist friend, and I needed we needed to prove ourselves to our new manager that he was the guy that needed to create
and
our what ended up being our mascot.
And I think it's absolutely amazing. And back to when we talked about horror movies, how come there was not a horror movie based on this clown?
Well, some people might argue with you and say it and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
I know, and you know that it's not the same. It's not the same.
And is there a name for the clown?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Okay.
Short for Beelzebub.
I love it. Yeah. All right. So Teasin' Pleasin', off the self-titled, gets covered by Shadows Fall.
Yeah.
How did they contact you, and how did you get involved with that cover?
They're fans. They came through Austin on a tour early on, like early in Shadows Fall days. So decades ago, man. they came through town, and a friend of mine was at the show, and the guitar player was wearing a Toys shirt. And he approached, my buddy who's at the show, who's a giant Shadows Fall fan, is also a Toys fan. He walks up to him, and I think it was Matt, the guitar player. He goes, dude, I know those guys. They live here, right? And he's like, yeah, we love them, man. We love the Toys, man. Fuck yeah. He's like, so he gave Matt my phone number, and we got in touch like that. So years went by. He calls me one day. He's like, hey, man, we decided to cover Teasin'. We're going to drop D. It's be a heavier version. We want you to sing on it. I'm like, let's go. Balls out. Heavy Teasin', pleasin'. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that happened.
Awesome cover. I
Yeah.
love it. It hits you every time. And what a great band. I'm so glad they're getting back together. I'm waiting to hear their new music. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. They're amazing. And they sort of like, helped crossover stay alive, because they're a metal band, but they're kind of hardcore too.
Yeah.
They have a lot of groove, but they're angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they absolutely are.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
Me too. Kill Switch. I mean, all that new style, or that style that came out. I love that.
Yeah, I can't say I like all of it. I guess I'm more biased with Shadows Fall because they cover
course.
Teasin', please.
Well, yeah, of course. You got Kill Switch that did Holy Diver, so maybe they can do one of your.
See, that's enough right there. Tip of the hat. Yep.
Yep.
So all those bands grew up on late '80s and '90s hard rock.
Yep. And some of
they have Twisted Sister shirts too.
Mm-hmm. And some of those bands introduced me to like ones I've never heard of, like At the Gates. Growing up, I've never heard of those, and by Kill Switch Engage, I've heard of At the Gates. Love At the Gates now. It's
nice.
It's just amazing that these artists do, tell us who inspired them, and so we can definitely check them out.
Oh yeah.
So what is one band or artist that you wish you would have got to tour with?
Oh, there's too many of them. Aerosmith, AC/DC. God.
What was
Cheap Trick would have been fun.
What was the one band that you had the best tour with, that you guys just had the greatest time with?
Oh, that's hard because we really lived it up and had a great experience. I'll start with the idea that we're just a bunch of punk-ass Texas kids that grew up not having shit, and then all of a sudden we're on the road together playing songs that we wrote almost overnight, and we're playing shows with the bands that we used to cover. It's fucked up.
I know,
man.
right? How amazing would that be? I mean, just an honor to share the stage. I mean,
yeah, it's nuts. So, and we were also playing with some bands that, had only been around for a couple of years, like Warrant and L.A. Guns, and and there were new bands on the bill too, like it's weird. Bonham is not really new band because it's
right.
It's Bonham, right?
Yep.
But he was his band Bonham that he called Bonham was fairly new, and Tora and stuff like that. But the L.A. Guns tour was incredible. The Cult tour in '90, Sonic Temple tour was incredible. Getting to play theaters and arenas that you own live albums that were recorded there, or you've heard King Biscuit Flower Hour or Westwood One recordings, and you get to play there. It's pretty great.
Did you guys get to play First Ave in Minneapolis?
No, we played the Mirage.
Okay.
Like a shit ton.
That was the place for you guys?
Yeah, that was the place.
Gotcha.
And loved that place. And and then in summer '91 we toured with Motorhead, Metal Church, Judas Priest, and Alice Cooper, all on one bill. And so it's the same. I can say the same thing about playing the clubs where you're this new band that might be opening for someone really cool, all the way to the biggest tour I can say I've ever been on, which would have been that tour in summer of '91. And, you know, playing massive sheds and shit.
Yeah. Wow. Now, if you could...
With bands that I own all their records. Super fan.
Uh-huh.
The opening band, and I'm the super fan at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Hey, what an awesome experience to, experience and to, tell everybody,
Yeah, well, it helped to move the band, and that was in a weird time for loud rock music. Summer '91 was weird.
Yeah.
Because people follow trends,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't.
No. Now the
and
one.
Neither does Priest, and neither does Alice Cooper. So.
No.
That's why it was kind of a ditch effort by the label to put us all out there. And throw Motorhead and Metal Church on it too, because Motorhead sound the same since 1978.
Absolutely, they haven't changed a bit.
Right. So it's kind of and we're all getting older, and it's like I'm afraid that the inevitable happens.
It is. Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately.
So, yeah.
Now, though, on that tour, did you try to get Alice Cooper to come out and help you sing "Scared," since that song is dedicated to him?
No.
But how awesome would that have been, right? Or would you not want to experience that?
Oh, I don't. It would have been incredible, but it wasn't even on my. That wasn't even an idea of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Gotcha.
You're not the first person that's asked me that.
Okay.
I had somebody ask me fairly recently. It's like, I really like it when Alice comes in on that one part on "Scared." I go, "What are you talking about?" They go, "You had Alice Cooper. Wow, do you see the gecko on my wall? Do you see him up here? That's a gecko."
Oh boy, yep, I see it.
See my finger?
Yep, I see it. Holy cow! Just crawling, huh?
Well, it rained all night last night, and it was hot today. So it's cool in here. So they like to live under rocks and stay in the dark. Look, he's already split.
He's gone.
Yeah, and it's loose up there. He can get up in the woodwork and stuff. So.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that was kind of cool. Special guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little creepy crawly talking about Alice Cooper.
No kidding.
Anyway, yeah, somebody they thought that, maybe I'm becoming his pet. They thought that kind of shit, and those little things that I'm doing here and there. They thought that was Alice.
Oh, really?
Alice came in there, yeah.
Okay. I just remember reading the bio that the song was dedicated to him. So.
Yeah.
Or in the cassette.
When I was writing the lyrics that ended up being the lyrics for "Scared," it was like I was taking cliff notes on an essay I was to write about Alice Cooper for school, like a project. And I was on a giant Alice Cooper kick, and this would have been in 1988. So I wasn't really into Raise Your Fist and Yell and Constrictor and those records. I was into the dirty 70s,
right?
Trippy when he created Alice Cooper. When Vincent Fournier created Alice Cooper, that was the stuff I was into. And probably the cream on top was the record Welcome to My Nightmare. But didn't stop there. But I would go through all of the older and maybe the records that didn't sell so well. Like Lace and Whiskey. Probably did okay, but I can't think of the hit song on that one, but he almost had a hit on almost every record he put out. His first hit being 18.
Right.
And that's old. That's like 70. That's like 1970. That's crazy. Anyway,
but
I would listen to the song, and the lyrics don't come in the records. In the 70s releases,
right.
Most of the time, the lyrics are not in there. And I would hear something that I thought was cool, and I'd write it down, and I'd keep listening. And every time I heard like a phrase or a word or a partial of some kind of bridge or whatever, I would write down the phrase or the little rhyme scheme or whatever. And I was basically teaching myself how to write lyrics. I was working on a style of lyric writing that I knew I was going to need, like quick. I was going to need it tomorrow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up using a lot of those phrases and, you know, topics and I ended up using a lot of those in Scared.
Great.
Some of them influenced other things. You know, some of those things might have even influenced Bones in the Gutter, because that's kind of like a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the lyric Bones in the Gutter is like, a story of this hitman hires these. He doesn't want to be, you know, he wants to sub out the gig, so he hires these punks to you know, there's a rich lady who lives on the hill. I want you to go hit her house and just take every valuable you can and bring it to me, and I'll give you some money, you know.
Right.
It's really kind of silly, but very tongue-in-cheek, and, you know, just creating a scenario, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something like that could have been like a Night Stalker episode, or, you
of course,
know, that had a villain, you know, that, and so, you know, I think Alice influenced me as a lyricist, and not just for Scared, but definitely for Scared, because there's some things in there that I lifted right out of his catalog.
And so many artists have.
Yeah, and it goes by. A lot of people don't realize, but it goes right by. You know, some people don't realize that I'm really, I mean, I'll say it verbatim in the lyric to just give a little nod to Alice.
That's great. Yeah, I was first exposed to Headbangers Ball, I believe, showed that video. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I saw that, I had to go get it. So
nice.
Yeah. You know, kudos to Headbangers Ball. What a great show. I wish something like that would come back.
Well, there are streaming shows that do play. I mean, Metal Mania has been on for decades now.
Yeah. Well, I'm more like focused on like how they were backstage interacting with the bands at these festivals, you know, and you know, just, you know, doing that kind of interaction, you know, giving the fans a concert experience or the band experience.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that you know, them being a network, they were privy to that. They were ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the only other thing that I can think of would have been back in the 60s and 70s with British television and stuff that was probably happening in California and New York on 70s. You know, there was a couple of shows. Wolfman Jack, if you know who that is, he hosted Midnight Special.
Okay.
And bands would play live.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't videos. They
right.
would play live on TV. And it was on every weekend. And so good.
Yeah.
And there was another one called In Concert. I can't. It was a cat's name. Something in concert.
I can't remember either.
I can't think of the guy's name. I'm getting old now. My memory is shot. But the point.
I remember that show though too. Yeah.
That same kind of thing was happening, but they were playing live, and sometimes they would interview the band, and a lot of that stuff's on YouTube.
Yep.
And you know, an up-to-date, you know, thing that you might miss would be something that's basically just turned into what you're doing here.
Yep.
Just podcasting and finding whoever you adore that'll talk to you, you know, and having a good time just doing that. And I think that this is a great medium. Because, you know, there's a lot of artists that new and, you know, artists that have been around for legacy artists as well as new artists.
Yeah.
That have new product out.
Yep.
That are viable. They're looking to do press days where they do this all day.
Absolutely.
From their hotel room on a day off. They'll do a press day with a publicist, and this is what they do. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Podcasting has replaced having to make a phone call on a payphone out by the swimming pool at a Motel 6 to do your press day, because that sucked.
Yeah, I imagine. couldn't just being by the phone all day and just answering the same questions over and over again.
I've done it. It was lame, and now Zoom and this, and
Yep.
just and even just cell phones and whatever. It's
And
the game. The game has changed for the better as far as this type of medium, which makes it easier to log and archive music and art and new books, and
Yep.
talk to people, and this is,
exactly.
the world is on TV now.
Yeah.
It's
And
pretty strange.
I just want this channel to be a little more different. I want to get to know the artist. I don't want, like who you are, what inspires you. I want this podcast to be a little more in depth and more personal kind of a thing, and just have fun with it, like the fast Flyin Q A. I just want this more laid back and just, a good time.
Sure.
And
Well, having a conversation about something cool, and being able to ask someone, how they're feeling, and about something they have to promote as well,
mm-hmm.
is all it should be. It should be light.
Yeah.
Keep it light. Yeah.
And I do want to bring that concert experience. I'm trying to get into shows where I can try to video and bring that platform out. So I don't know. Crossing my fingers. That's my passion.
Yeah, good luck with that. I would hope that you would have a good camera with a headset and a microphone,
Yep.
and not just use an iPhone. 'Cause
Right.
you're going to be around a lot of loud places, and finding a place that usually if you can get a quiet place to do press,
Mm-hmm.
you win, and you can actually fly that stuff. But interviewing someone in a crowd, or while you're standing in line on a phone,
Yep.
that's not working.
Nope. I got the microphone. I got this other, all these devices. Like I said,
Cool.
I'm brand new to this. I'm just a fan.
You're on your way.
I am just bringing music to the fans. Asking
You're on your way.
questions. Asking questions. I think they'd want to know. So
Great.
another question. One of the last ones I have here. Is there one thing that the record company asked you guys to do and you totally refused it? Besides the whole pissed and deny or not enjoying those songs, besides that whole experience, was there something with the first two albums that they might have asked you to do?
I like the question, but you said something about pissed. What did you mean about pissed?
Like
that related to the question.
Like you were frustrated with the label because they weren't liking the songs that you were giving them for the album Piss. So then you asked to be dropped.
We were to be clear. I'm glad you brought that up,
Yep.
because to be clear, if you thought something different, that's okay. But to clear it up a little bit from my end,
Right.
we were ready to make a record. We were excited about making a record,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were basically say, hey, can we get the hell out of here so we can go make a record?
Right.
We're telling them you're not gonna, you continue to say that you don't like our songs. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we want to go somewhere else. Can you let us go somewhere else? Because we can just go find a label.
Right.
And we did.
Yeah.
And we went and made a record. So
So
that's what
before that, I would say, was there something that the record label asked you guys to do that you didn't want to do?
Well, yes. We were on tour with the Cult, and this is fairly well documented. We were on tour with the Cult. It was 1990. It was probably spring or getting to be summer of 90. And the tour was on break for like a week, and we had planned to jump back on with them. We'd already done a couple months. We were going to go back out. That was the plan. And the label intervened, and they go, you need to go home and make a record because your window of opportunity is closing. So we argued, but it fell flat. You know what I mean? It's like I remember asking at least my constituents, my band, my manager, my people, like, so hold on a second. Are we selling records? Oh shit, yeah. And this Cult tour, you guys are doing great, man. You're blowing units out of all the stores, and your merch sales are really good, and and all these great things, and it's been a banner year for
Mm-hmm.
you. The record is selling. You're up a couple 100,000 records, and it's only been out since summer, and it's going to be great. But see, since it's been out, 9, 10 months, might want to write some songs too. Window of opportunity, right?
Yep.
And so we lost that spat,
Right.
And we went home and wrote some songs. Well, we had Gimme No Lip. We had parts of Angel in You, because that was written at like a sound check. And I love those songs from Hellacious. I love
Mhm.
those two songs. So we went home, and at some point we came up with Line 'Em Up and Best of Friends and Sugar Leather in the Nail. And there's probably one or two more, and the rest of it is like half cooked. There's about 4 or 5 tunes that I feel are half cooked, and one of them was a cover song. See what I mean? It's like,
Feel Like Making Love.
I mean, part of me, I wonder why we did that. And the story goes like this: me and Danny were messing with it in the jam room one day, and Roy, the producer, walks in. He goes, "That's going to be on the record." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" We laughed it off, like, we're just fucking around with Feel Like. We were playing it in the original key.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got in the studio, it was like, let's transpose it. So when you go into the chorus, which was a really good idea, when you go into that way, when you transpose it, when the chorus hits, you're in that voice that people know
Mm-hmm.
you have. You're way up here.
Yep.
You're singing in the stratosphere where you like to sing anyway. And I was like, I get it. But it wasn't our idea to put that on the, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I do.
The other song that I don't particularly, that I tried to basically talk them out of not putting on the record, was Gypsy Black and Blue Valentine, which was written, me and Mike Watson, bassist, other lyricist in the band, we went to Toms River, New Jersey to write that song with a writer, with like a producer / writer guy. That it had some success with Alice Cooper and Bon Jovi, and he wrote some songs for Doro Pesh. His name is Jack Ponte. Jack has passed on since, but anyway, we went out there for a few days and came back with Gypsy Black and Blue Valentine. And is it a good song? Sure. Does it fit does it fit what I really think Dangerous Toys should be doing in a rock and roll song? Probably not. But the key changes in it, and the groove, and the not my favorite. And I was like on the phone with management going, hey, basically, can we not put this on? Oh man, we paid this writer to come write with you guys, and it has to be on the record. The label spent money on that. It's got to be on the record. It's like, I was like, okay, all right. So, that's really, I'm not going to say they made us. I mean, I could have, started a fire in everyone's front yard and been a big baby about it. But,
Right.
It's not that big of a deal that one song that I don't particularly like is on the record. But let's go back to the songs we were writing. Bad Guy, I think, is kind of uncooked. Oh, another song I kind of like is On Top.
Yes.
That's another song that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few on there. Oh, Sticks and Stones is all right.
I love it because I love the lyrics. I mean, it's the anthem.
Yeah, it's an anthem.
Yep.
Yeah, but then Sportin' a Woody is a real.
Now, a story on that one. So when I bought your cassette, I don't know how, I'm 48 right now, but no clue what Sportin' a Woody meant. I'm singing, and my brother comes home.
We learned you.
Yes, you did. Well, my brother comes home, and one of his buddies gets the cassette, and he starts chuckling, and he's like, Sportin' a Woody, and I'm like, yeah, so? he's like, you don't know what that is? And I go, no.
Well,
Yep.
you were young and ready to find out.
Yes, and so thank
Maybe
you.
you didn't know you were ready to find out, but
Hey, well, thanks for letting me find out.
these aha moments in
Yes.
life, right?
Yes.
Um, but yeah. So, I mean, there's a good chunk of Hellacious Acres that we can be proud of, and then there's, like I said, there's a handful of tunes that I feel were uncooked and may or may not have needed to be on the record to make it even stronger. And this is just, well, I could even speak for my band because I know they feel the same way. But
Right.
no judgment on, we're too close to it, right? We wrote the songs, right? It's our fault that we don't like our own songs.
There's
So-
definitely plenty of artists out there that look back and be like, "Oh crap,
Yeah,
what
I
did we
mean,
do?"
there's just some things about it that seem, and I think that the word I've devised, uncooked,
I like that word.
they're just not there yet. And it's funny, on Demolition, there's songs that didn't make the cut that we probably said, "Oh, that's never seen the light of day," and I can use the same word.
Mm-hmm.
They were just not cooked all the way. There was something missing in the color and shade of how the song came out.
Right. But now they get to see the light of day, and fans get to hear it, and
That's right.
Yeah.
It's we wanted to call the record Warts and All. Warts and all. Like, here's the ugly, shitty demos. Here's the crap that never came out, and we hope you like it. And it garnered some real decent reviews, man. And
Yeah.
and they like the songs that we don't like. So
Hey.
it's kind of interesting.
Good music is good music, though, is what I always say.
Well, it's when you're too close to something, you don't even know if it's good anymore until someone else hears it, and it changes their fucking life.
That's a very good point. Absolutely. Good point there. But that kind of rounds up my kind of questions. I always like to throw it back at you. Do you have any questions for me as a fan, or anything in the interview that we didn't touch? I just
No, I
remembered
mean-
one thing.
Oh, what do you got?
So in the bio, your website, you have a excellent bio written, by the way. It goes in great detail.
I think I need to edit it.
Yeah, I probably update a few things, but
Yeah.
the one thing that did bring my eye was the Pantera audition. Now, I know you passed on it and all that kind of stuff, but I know you had to been
I was not offered the gig.
right. No, to audition.
Yeah,
You-
I was a person of interest.
Yep. But living in Texas, you've had to know Diamond and Paul. What are your fondest memories of those guys, the Abbott brothers?
Daryl and Vinny were, to be straight, honestly, barely on my radar as personal first name basis. Did not exist. But everybody knew who Pantera was because they were starting to play up and down I-35. Man, they were all over. They would play all around Texas, of course, and they would play their way all the way up to at least Nashville, Tennessee, and come through Oklahoma, and they'd come back down. And I mean, they were touring. They'd load a van and go, and they'd play covers, and they didn't have Philip yet.
Mm-hmm.
They were a different kind of band. They were a metal band, but they were closer to like a Def Leppard, Poison, Bon Jovi a little bit with metal tingencies, which is a great sort of. They were crossover, and they probably didn't even realize it because Daryl liked to shred, and
Oh,
Van Halen is kind of like a crossover band, and they were kind of like a Van Halen.
mm-hmm.
Well, meanwhile, I was in this prog thrash, crazy speed metal, jazz speed metal, fucking crazy shit that was genre bending, and they were in this kind of what people would just say as glam rock, right? I hate that. I never called them a glam rock band, and if I did, I only meant it just to get through the conversation.
Right.
Because they were more than that, obviously. But so I'm doing the heavy weird shit, and they're doing the the stuff that's fun and colorful and bing bang yay, cheerleaders and
Yes.
whatever. And I'm in the crazy maniacal, hysterical nuts.
Mhm. All over the
And
place.
so,
Yep.
yeah, and then they get Philip by the late '80s, early '90s, and I joined Dangerous Toys. And it's a little bit more yay and colorful and a little more booty shaking, and they go dark. Right?
Yep.
And it was during that interim that they were courting me to try to get me to do an audition.
Right.
But their dad called me, and then a week, and I turned him down respectfully. And then Vinny called me a week later, and I had the same conversation with Vinny.
Okay.
And they were super cool. Every time I ran into the guys, going to see Pantera, sneaking backstage, and hey man, what's up? Everyone was so nice and respectful and cool. And even Philip was great. Has always been great. And they were Watchtower fans, is what it was. They all knew about Watchtower. And I had a little bit of a buzz, and I even got to ask Daryl about it. Why me, dude? And he's like, you had a big buzz. I had friends that were way into your band,
Right.
I was looking for a singer, and your name came up more than once. So it was
Crazy.
But years later, I got to ask him that.
Right. Wow.
Which was kind of like you know what I mean? It's like at some point I was like, wow, I wonder why they thought that I would work in that. And then Cowboys come, the shit blew up, and I'm going, oh, this is the shit they were wanting to do.
Right.
No wonder they would, they were thinking they needed someone that was a little more,
Yep.
fisticuff.
Yep. And Philip was the good choice for that.
Oh my God, he's the singer for Pantera.
Yep.
I am not. And then I guess you read that it's the similar situation happened years later with Skid Row.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
same verbatim. It wasn't Vinny. It wasn't Vinny that calling me. It was Snake.
right. So right now is Snake giving you a call?
No.
Since they're on a singer search, just curious.
Yeah.
Since they were.
No, I mean, my answer would probably still be the same. Those are some giant shoes to fill. They've had the most incredible singers on the planet be in the band for a while, if not for a week, with Lizzie Hale. But
yeah, oh man, I wish I would have saw that.
The shit with Eric. Oh my God! I mean, Eric is so fucking good. It scares me. And I'm just not that kind of a singer, so that's just too much pressure. That's some fucking
right.
I'm just being straight with you, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, you've been around the block a few times. You've done it. Yeah, you don't need to do it.
I can hold my own. I like to sing my songs, and I like to. I'm a metal dude. I love it. I think that it would be a lot of fun. You know what I mean? To go sing some Skid Row songs, but it's a permanent. They need a singer.
They do.
They need someone to jump in there and own it and get along and just really be their guy or girl. Sure.
Hey,
man, I've seen some audition tapes that people have been posting of people they know. I've seen some really good ones, and some of them are women.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I'm not even surprised, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Lizzie Hale. We know anyone could. There's a singer out there, man or woman, that could do that.
There's so many great female artists out there. Dorothy, for one, her voice is just so amazing.
Far out.
Yeah,
anyway, I feel like I need to update my bio.
It is a long read, but hey, you had so much stuff going on, and I mean, from 2025 to 2026, I mean, you could write a whole nother, chapter of all these projects that you're doing.
Yeah. The thing that I need to update in there is my time, and maybe it's kind of too cheeky to do it, but the gigs that I did with Armored Saint and Accept, when I filled in for those guys, and those guys are my idols.
Wow.
It was a little outer body experience kind of a vibe, and I feel like I need to put some kind of paragraph in there. I'm just being straight with you, just as like
please.
an archivist
No.
to archive my path, you know,
Yeah.
because that's not in there yet.
Okay.
And that's 3 years ago now.
Right. I remember reading about that, watching some videos. What a great job you did filling in. And man, it baffles me how you can remember all these lyrics.
Oh,
like,
I don't. I don't.
You got the teleprompter or you got to practice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teleprompter.
All right.
Yeah. Whether I'm looking at it the whole time on some songs or just like a couple of words, oh, I got it, and I walk away from, oh, shit, oh, yeah, I know where I'm at. So, I mean, I use it all the time now. It's a tool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not alone, man. There's a lot of singers out there using them.
And I don't blame them. I mean, for an artist that's been around for...
A lot of them, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but I will say this, is like it seems like the older legacy artists, they're using them.
Well, you guys have how many songs? I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm in too many bands. I can't remember lyrics I wrote.
Yeah. And I have no problem if a singer needs to use a teleprompter.
At least they're really singing.
That I will not stand for, even on TV.
They're really fucking singing.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Even on TV, I got to turn it off if they're lip syncing. I'm just like, this is dumb. You got to be live.
Yeah, there's a way to tell if their mic is live. So you just got to pay attention.
Yes.
I've gotten pretty good at being able to tell if they're really singing. And my wife will look over and, are they really singing? Yeah, they're really singing. They're fucking good, right? She's like, yeah. So.
Yeah. Same here. I didn't even watch the halftime show this year at the Super Bowl. I mean, you don't watch sports, but didn't even give 2 seconds to that. You did?
I actually watched it because I wanted to see the halftime show.
Okay.
I mean, I ended up watching the game, too. It was a really good game.
Yeah, very good game.
But I watched the halftime show, and it was pretty fucking incredible.
I did not. I still haven't watched it. But
you don't have to. It was great. It was great. Trust me. It was. I don't know how they pulled that off. As a show, as a performer, as like, the props and the sets and the dancers and the singers and the players and the musician and him singing the whole time. I mean, where did they rehearse that?
Yeah.
Did they go to another football arena and set up all the shit and do a practice run for that 10-minute slot? It's like, how do you rehearse that?
Yeah, what goes behind the scenes to get that done?
Like a medley, right? He's doing a medley of a bunch of songs, and he's got specialty things that are only Super Bowl specific, right? For the halftime show.
Right.
Where can he rehearse? I mean, surely he rehearsed that.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
100 times.
Oh.
It was flawless.
Dang.
Flawless.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Glad.
Just like it, just production values. Whether you like Bad Bunny or not, that's not even. Notice I'm not even talking about that.
No.
I'm talking about music and production and sound and how did they pull that shit off?
Right. If you have.
That's what I was watching it for.
Well, back in the. Let's see. I don't remember what years, but I saw Garth Brooks. I want to say 96, 97. I did not like country. But
fine.
It was a massive show in Sioux Falls. I'm from the Midwest, and you just had to get the tickets. And I went. I was blown away. He put so many bands that I've seen live to shame because of the energy, the performance, the passion, the heart. You could just tell. Yeah. And I just I got so much respect.
Well, back
for him.
in the day, I'll say, it used to be like before even my time. People would go to a show to see a show. Doesn't matter what kind of music it was. They would just go to a show to see a show. Now, in ye olden times, it was the same kind of situation. The only music was around was classical music.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were worthy of the king to be in the king's and the kingdom's presence, and you got invited to the gala or the ball, you were at a show. You got to see a fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
That music was composed for the king, special to that show, to that gig.
Yep.
Special to that. It was a one-time thing. They rehearsed all week to play those songs that composer was paid by the kingdom, probably not shit, to write for the party. Incredible. So if you got to see that and you fell in love with music, it was like rare. So as the earth became older and covered wagons would go down dirt roads by the throes of humans, farmers and farmers and slaves, dare I say, and just everyone and anyone, where would they go to see a show? They would go to church.
Yep.
Didn't matter if you were religious, if you wanted to see a show, because they would feed you too, right? So poor people would go to the church on Sunday because they would feed you and they would have a show. And they would do gospel music, and it was probably a version of country music probably that was happening. Or they would just sing hymns. So going to just, I don't have any teeth in my head and I'm broke as hell, but they're going to feed me and I get to see people sing. So that's like a fellowship. And I like to liken rock concerts as fellowships for that reason.
Yes.
Whether it's a rock concert or a yacht rock concert, it's still a concert. Country music is still rock because it's got drums. Fight me on that.
Right. No, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't. But
you know what I mean, though.
Oh, absolutely.
If the room is dancing and getting off and going crazy, they can be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter who's on stage. You see what I'm saying?
I absolutely do, and
I think that there's something about a lot of I don't know what to call it anymore. Hip hop, rap, whatever. It's so like this sounds like a bad word. Diluted?
No, it's just there's so much. Yeah, it is.
There's so much to whatever rap and hip hop have become now.
Yep.
It's rock. It's got drums. It's got guitars. If it's just a DJ, I don't know if a DJ can be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because there's not a drummer on stage with them. Right? Unless there's a drummer on stage, can't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if you ask me.
Right. Well, how many rock songs do the rap artists, copy from?
Where did they learn how to do whatever it is they're doing? Rock and roll.
Yep.
They learned it from the streets, the same places that rock and roll comes from.
Right.
So.
And that energy and that performance, I was going to say, is you definitely bring that. The two times that I've seen you guys, you always bring it, and you want the crowd to interact, and just 110% every time. So I thank you for doing that.
Of course, yeah. There's nothing more lame than a lame front man, and there's nothing. Having a bad attitude doesn't get you anywhere. And some of my favorite singers in the world they just have all of the stuff, Steve Whiteman from Kix, Dee Snider. There's a lot of them. Steven Tyler. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'll say Brian Johnson and Bon Scott. I'll say Axl Rose. I'll say I like Youngblood's energy. I haven't heard a song that I can say that I like by Youngblood, but I will tell you this: he's got the right attitude.
Yep, and the cover-up changes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, but it was already great. So the point that I'm making is he's got the right energy, and the cover songs I've heard him do are great, but I'm talking about Youngblood as an artist. He can't do, something's going to have to come hit me in the head that's a song he wrote that I'm hoping to like. I have a lot of hope for him. But the whole world does too because of his, the love he has for the game.
Yeah.
So anybody who's just got the energy to come out there and just kill it and go for it, that's who I like.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I aspire, you know.
Right.
But, you know, my main guys are Rob Halford and Bon Scott, Dan McCafferty. You know who else had a lot of energy and he was crazy and he was all over the place? Is Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah. Yeah, watching his live stuff, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, and Queen wrote every kind of song. They wrote pop music, heavy metal, they wrote ballads, they wrote ragtime, they wrote disco, they did it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that there's a lot of bands out there that are legacy bands that have sort of adapted to that might have started out as a metal band that some of their fans say that they sold out. I'm not going to mention any names. But they didn't sell out.
Mm-hmm.
They're just being creative and bringing the energy and creating family by having longevity. And I think that that's what Queen set out to do eventually after the first like 3 or 4 albums. I feel like they really did that. They wrote any kind of song. What kind of song are we going to write today? Must be nice. I think the Beatles did that.
Mm-hmm.
Pink Floyd did that after a while.
Of course. Had to.
So, see what I mean? It's an infamous route to take by bands that have the power to do it and feel good about it and strengthen their creative sensibilities.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep.
Now, do I like bands like AC/DC that write kind of the same kind of song the whole time? Fuck yes.
Right.
Slayer, fuck yes. You know what I mean? I love it when there is something that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I feel like, you know, when you're obviously moving around a little bit in your early stages, you have aspirations.
Right. And I was always the one that was stuck in the one genre. You know, I'm in this genre. I can't listen to anything else. But as you get older, your musical tastes change. And as a fan, at first I didn't want the bands to change because that's the sound I love. But man, I'm being selfish because my musical taste changed. Yours has to change as well. So why don't you want to explore and be artistic in that, right? You just
1,000,000,000%.
And that right there finally just opened my mind and been like, oh my gosh, you know, now I'm listening to albums that were 20 years old and I'm like, this is ahead of their time, or this sounds great, where 20 years ago I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So
well, we could talk about that all day. Another band that's
right.
Another band that did that from the beginning. You know, their first few albums were kind of, you know what I mean. But then album, 4, 5, 6, and then on is the band Rush.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
How they kind of created prog metal. Pretty much created prog metal, and then figured out how to straddle the line of like write a song that can be on the radio but still sounds like Rush. And I think Metallica did that too.
They did.
Yeah.
Just breaking the barriers, and
they're hardcore fans that want them to just be master of puppets all the time. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's beautiful. That's a hardcore fan, and I love you too. But it's pretty great if you love something and set it free to have free will.
Mm-hmm.
It always comes back to you eventually. It's something that you fell in love with. It's part of who you are.
Right. And case in point, it could be the album artistly formerly known as Dangerous Toys. I mean,
it's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
People.
That was a stretch. We like all kinds of music, and we liked some of the music of the day, of the mid '90s, and that crept into our psyche, and we wrote some songs that were reflective of that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it was a dark time for a lot of music, and everyone was trying to figure out, what the hell am I doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you were a popular artist and whether the label or somebody was pressuring you to, well, you better sound like Nirvana or we're going to drop you. You know what I mean? I mean, that could have been happening quite a bit. Didn't happen to me
Nope.
because I nipped it in the butt, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said, hey, we're going to go make this record that we want to make, and you're not going to say that you don't like our songs anymore. But here's one thing, Dan. They did not say you need to sound like Pearl Jam. They
Great.
never said anything like that.
Great.
So
What a good record company behind you on that one.
yeah, and they let us go, and they actually gave us some money too.
Hey.
At the same time.
Can't complain there.
Well, they owed us the money.
Oh,
yeah.
well, okay. You got to get paid. You got to get paid.
But we got the money owed to us.
Right. And I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan at first when that came out. I was like, what the hell? And
the artist form.
yeah. Yep. And, about 10 years ago.
That's our Black album.
Yeah. And then about 10 years ago, I popped it in. I'm like, all right, now I understand. It takes me a little bit. So,
well, and there's also things, and I'm not making excuses, but things had changed for the band quite a bit. We had lost Mike Watson.
Mm-hmm. Big songwriter.
We had lost Danny Aaron.
Yep.
So it was me, Scott, and Paul writing the songs. They're gonna sound different. And I was playing bass, totally different kind of song with me playing bass. The feel is different. What I'm gonna play is not what Mike Watson would have played.
Mm-hmm.
And here's something funny. So there's just like 2 or 3 little elements that when you wash that over, you're like, oh, huh, wow, yeah, okay. Well, that's something that Toys fan, I don't like it. It's not tease and please. That's fine. It wasn't going to be we didn't have a chance to be sporting a Woody or tease or line them up or give me no. It didn't stand a fucking chance.
Not at that time.
Too many elements had changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were weathering a storm ourselves and finding reasons to write songs at all. And those were the songs we wrote, and we were having a blast. So, wow, this is fun writing this kind of song. Let's keep going and make a record. Fuck it,
Oh, great.
But yeah, I mean, everything worked out. Here's what I was going to say. The funny thing about the artist is Mike Watson. He loves the record, and he had zero to do with it. So the real bass player for Dangerous Toys loves the artist formerly known as. So that made us feel like, oh, shit, one of our bros who knows what this thing is all about, and he's a card-carrying member.
Right. You flipped your sound.
Yeah, Yeah, we stepped in shit and ran with it, and he loved it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
And to this day, it can definitely stand test of time. With a lot of stuff that's out there. So
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I love the pink vinyl that Cleopatra has put out on that reissue on that.
All right, I'll have to look for that one.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, I'll pick that one up for sure.
Don't buy the CD version. Buy the vinyl.
I already got the CD. I've already got all your CDs. So.
Well, if it's the CD, is it the Cleopatra CD?
It was like when it first came out.
So it's the DMZ dose. See, how long have you had it?
I want to say I bought it when it first came out.
That would have been in '95.
Had to have been.
How old were you in '95?
17.
Do you have it close by?
The CD itself. Let me look.
Or the CD case, whatever.
I packed up the CD case, unfortunately.
Oh, that's all right.
We're possibly moving to Sioux Falls.
Oh, right. I got you.
That's where my daughter lives.
All right. That's the OG, my man.
Yeah.
That's the original.
And then I got the live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the rotting clown. Someone poured acid on him. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I got the original here.
Sweet. Now, the reason that I was such a being kind of a dick about that, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is this. The Cleopatra version of that CD, unless they've fixed it since, they decided it was a good idea to put a bunch of cover songs on there.
Oh, my gosh.
CD version of it. Now, a lot of them have me... Well, I'm on all of the songs that they put on there, but out of like 5 cover songs that are on there, one of them I'm not singing. Ron Keel is, but I played bass on it.
Okay.
It's an Aerosmith song or something.
Okay.
And the other 4, it's me singing. But as far as all the other Toys personnel, 0 of the other guys are on those songs.
Interesting.
And the reason that Cleopatra just put those on there is because I was involved. Oh, that's good enough. It'll be bonus tracks. Pissed me off.
Just had your name on it, so they threw it on there.
Just because it was, I mean, what a bummer.
Yeah. Unfortunate for the
you
fans.
got the OG version. You're
Yes.
safe.
Hey.
You're good in my book.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. And, Ron Keel, Small World, he lives in Sioux Falls too. So I'm hoping.
He's a great dude.
I'm hoping that when I move down there, I can get a connection with him and
You
see
can
what we can
stalk
do.
him a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Try to.
Tell him I said hi.
If I ever get the
That
chance.
can be your. Just look for the tall dude in the coffee shop. Hey, Ron. Jason says hi. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah. Right.
Big fan, by the way.
Nice. Yes, I will most certainly do that if I get that opportunity.
Nice. You
Yes. Yes. So, but like I said, I want to continue this, and if I can grow this and bring music to the fans, I want to do it live, loud, and unfiltered. That's my goal.
should.
So
Go big or go home.
absolutely, and I'm raw to this. I don't care what. I just want to have fun. That's I'm not a professional by any means. I want to have fun.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we have fun on my podcast, the Talk Louder podcast. Have you seen that yet?
No, I have not. I'm going to check that out and start listening to it for sure.
5 years now.
Okay.
Talk Louder podcast. You can go to talklouderpodcast.com. There's a bunch of links there, or you can just go to whatever one digital streaming. It's everywhere.
Okay. Perfect.
It's on the Spotify. It's on you. Watching it on YouTube is the most fun.
Okay. All right.
That's when you can see the fun that we're having and not just hear the fun we're having.
Right. So not just visit your channel, but subscribe to your channel as well, right?
Yeah.
I'll do that as well.
All right.
So any other last comments, or I open the table to you if any questions to me.
No, I just appreciate your time and thank you for having me, and it was a cool hang with you.
No, my honor is, man, it's an honor and a pleasure to talk to you. It's, to hear about the past and the future and just everything that's going on for you. I'm so happy for you, and I just wish you the best of luck in here in 2026.
Well, thanks very much. It ain't over.
No, and I hope we get to see you up here in the Midwest. And to all the people that are writing, why don't you come to Minnesota? We got to get somebody out there that'll bring you guys here.
Amen. That's all it is.
Yep.
If you know someone in a cool club or venue or something that's the talent buyer and they're interested, they should reach out.
All right.
We're easy to find.
Yeah, absolutely. I found you.
Unfortunately, everyone is easy to find these days.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. But I appreciate you reaching back to me so soon. Thank you so much.
Of course.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to end the segment here. This is Dan Husingay with Metalheads Media. Jason, thank you so much for your time. It has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for flying with us. God bless. Cheers.